Welcome to Down Earth Astrology and Primal Girl Wellness. This is Miss Jenny, and I am your astrologer. This is the horoscope for March 2024, and I will say that this will be one of the most profoundly important months of 2024. So the first thing I want you to do is go grab a pencil and your calendar, and I want you to circle these dates. March 10th, March 17th, and March 23rd. And also go back a month to February 28th, 2024, which is actually tomorrow. So one of the things you may have noticed is that February has flown by. Oh my God, it's been a busy, busy month with a lot of huge developments personally and in the world around us. Whew, it's been quite a bit keeping up. It's like the whole world's gone schizophrenic. Right? Mother Nature's having a schizophrenic cycle here. Okay, so on the starting in February, because this plays into March. On the 28th, we have a triple stellium, more like a grand conjunction or a triple conjunction with the Sun, Mercury, and Saturn. Mercury and Saturn both being cazimi the Sun, and in the degree of the fixed star Scut, which is about happiness, and also protection in a deluge, right, or protection from external forces. So one of the things that we know is that big, important things are afoot. This is a time of miracles. This is a time of miracles, and it's also a time of hidden blessings and angels walking amongst us. It has been all along, but some points of the year are much more pronounced than others, and certainly the 28th is no exception to that. Now, one of the challenges is that as we move into March is an absolutely 3,000% Piscean Neptunian month, and a lot of people misunderstand and miscategorize how this Piscean Neptunian energy works out, right? Lots of typical, horse stuff about, oh, Neptune, drugs, addiction, mental illness, woo! Oh my God. There's more going on than just that, but I will say that March, there is an overwhelming emphasis on the last sign of the zodiac, with Neptune being there in its sign of rulership. This is a profound month. And also, for those of you who believe in the battle between good and evil, this is when it will come into sharp relief. It's not that it's suddenly going to appear and exist, and it's not that it's suddenly going to be one and done, but it is to say that during this month, the distinctions, right, the curtain being pulled apart and everything is visible now, like the full moon illuminates the dark night. This is that kind of month. So the battle between good and evil will be in full relief this month, because with all of this Neptune and all of this Pisces so strong all month long, this is all the wonderful things and scary things about Pisces that we can expect to see play out. This is a month of magic, okay, as well as angels and demons and phantasmagorical things, and just, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So also be aware that for people who are involved in the esoteric arts, whether it's the dark arts, voodoo, the visualization, whatever this is, where you're out there monkeying around with the works of the universe, trying to bend it to your will, the arc of your moral compass kind of thing. You got to understand that not only will this be doubly, triply, quadruply emphasized this month, it's going to be like being in an echo chamber. So if you've ever seen these things where people stand at the Grand Canyon, you're like, hello, and then the echo comes back, hello, hello, hello. It just bounces around inside the canyon, right? Because it's an echo, okay? Or an echo chamber. March is an echo chamber. So if you want to maybe have a better life, a not so complicated life, a not so complicated life, I'd better be very, very aware of what you're putting out there and what your intentions are. Black magic will absolutely be afoot this month, just as much as white magic will. There's going to be all sorts of weird stuff flying around. So try not to get in the crossfire. Try not to get yourself in the crossfire. So, and for those of you who dabble in those things, you need to know it's an echo chamber out there. Literally, we're standing at the Grand Canyon shouting out, and it's just going to bounce around uncontrollably once you've released it into the system. Okay, so on the 10th, we are looking at a new moon at 20 Pisces. It will be squared by or not square, but people who have planets in Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius will struggle with this new moon more than Pisces will. So for Pisceans, this is a powerful new moon that will absolutely get everything like launched, right? Launch time. For everybody else in the mutable group, right? Gemini, Sagittarius, and Virgo, this is going to be a very taxing, testing time. Maybe because you really have to now start focusing, and paying attention to what you're putting out there. Can't be quite so loose and irresponsible with our thoughts and our words. It will be close to Neptune, and again, the big echo chamber. Mercury will be at 0 Aries, so we should look for some significant and dramatic world impacting action, decision, communication occurring around this time. This is a very important new moon, so watch what's happening with your local governments and your big governments. Okay. The next date down, we've got a quarter moon on the 16th, which I'm not particularly worried about. Now, the thing about the 16th is that the Sun and Neptune will be moving closer together while we've got this moon squaring Saturn. It's going to be an uncomfortable day, so some repercussions may be coming in for anything that was put out there under that new moon. Watch yourselves. I'm telling you, there's all sorts of magic afoot this month. But more importantly, it's the 17th, not the 16th, but the 17th, on which you guys keep an eye on. On the 17th, we will have a quarter moon, because the moon will be in Gemini, but it will be squaring the Sun and Neptune. And of course, Venus and Saturn will also be in Pisces. So the 17th is going to bring some challenges in terms of perception. So, let me put it this way. We may all be feeling like we're on the world's biggest acid trip together. So things will seem very surreal at that time. There'll be a lot of, what is the word when you're disassociation? There'll be a lot of disassociation happening. And people are not going to feel like themselves. So be careful when you're driving. Be careful if you're operating heavy or unsafe or, dangerous equipment. And also this is not the time to do any type of mind-altering drugs. We're all going to be like half in, half out of the here anyway, just because of the nature of what the energy going on. This is a fantastic day. The 17th is a fantastic day to meditate, pray, visualize, to get into that creative artistic space where you're channeling and pulling things down into you and through you. Good things. But other than that, it's going to be very hard to focus, and we're all going to be having very surreal, like LSD moments through the day. So be aware of that. And this isn't to say don't trust your judgment, but it is to say be very aware that your judgment may be more than a little impaired, as well as other people. On the 23rd, we have a day for you. On the 23rd, which is 2 days before the eclipse. Now, this eclipse is a big one here in the United States because it will absolutely hit Trump's Mercury and Neptune, that Mercury-Neptune square. So I expect something significant and life-altering in a big way. And, so the thing about with Trump, just so we're all clear, right? The thing about Trump and losing all this money is, in theory, technically, it could be life-changing because he's changing status from being rich to being broke as a joke, right? But in this particular case, we're talking about things being life-changing in huge ways, like the difference between being a free citizen and being in prison or dead, right? Those are the levels of life-changing things that I'm seeing with this particular eclipse in connection to his chart. So watch the 25th to see what happens around him. And certainly all across the world, we're all feeling this eclipse. So if you have planets anywhere near 5 degrees in the cardinal signs, but especially Libra, because that's where it's happening, Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, you will be feeling this eclipse much more intimately. If you do not have planets at those degrees, look at the house in your chart where Libra sits, and that's where you're going to be getting it. So big changes, big sweeping changes, as it were, pushing the launch button. All right, on this day, the 23rd, right before that eclipse, it's carrying all the energy of this eclipse with it. So this whole 3 days, the 22nd through 25th, or 23rd through 26th, is going to be huge and power-packed. On that day, we've got Venus in Pisces, Mars, it just entered Pisces, Saturn is in Pisces, Neptune is in Pisces. Good grief. We've got practically half the solar system in Pisces, which is going to add more fuel to this this surreal kind of perception that we're all kind of going through. Now, some things you guys need to understand, because Pisces does rule mental health. Okay. The people who are susceptible or prone to depression or psychotic breaks or any other type of mental instability prior to now, which includes people with PTSD or CPTSD, this whole month is going to be very triggering. So if you know people like this, you want to keep an eye on them and be supportive and pay attention to what they're saying, because they're not joking this time. They're serious. And also, too, because Pisces rules the ocean, and the ocean has waves. So sometimes these things will roll up on people like a wave very quietly and then threaten to pull them under. If this is you, you have to know what's happening. This is just the environment and the energy. And again, there's magic and all sorts of dark forces at foot. Do not let the demons get you. They want you miserable and suffering and feeling hopeless. Don't give in to them. It's a momentary thing. It's going to pass. But you have to trust the process. Take a deep breath and kind of ride that wave. Don't let it pin you down to the bottom of the ocean floor. Okay? So for those of you who are Pisces, this is a very, 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 very big month. Because Neptune's been in your ruler for a while, so you've been feeling it, feeling a little nuts. But this is a time of profound change. And you may finally be coming into your own at this time. So go with your instincts, what you're feeling, your intuition, your instincts, go with it, because it will not lead you wrong. If it's not directing you to hurt people, it will not lead you wrong. All the other vices aside, right? Gambling and all this sort of stuff. So with that said, for everybody as a general thing, as we move through March, step lightly and understand that we are in literally the world's biggest echo chamber right now on a psychic level, right? Or on a metaphysical or esoteric level. So things that we're putting out there are going to not only get enlarged, they're going to go far, and they're going to bounce back repeatedly from all different directions, because it's an echo chamber. Which is going to make you a little nuts. And also, too, if you've got things going out and back and bouncing around, like until it eventually loses momentum energy, you want that to be good things that is bouncing around. So pay attention to that. Put good things into the world. Pay attention. Pull your head out of the sand and pay attention. There is evil afoot in the world. There always has been. There always will be. Okay? Evil thrives on misery, suffering, and chaos. Anything that would bring more misery, more suffering, and more chaos into this world is an agent of evil or demons, because that's how they get you. So I don't care what robes of holiness you wear. I don't care what religions you say you ascribe to. I don't care who you think you are. Ultimately, the reality is what you do and what you support and what you turn a blind eye to is really what matters. Especially right now, because we've been feeding this monster for a long time. We're watching it grow. We've got to stop this. And you stop it by starving it. Okay? What is it? The two wolves that live inside you. The one that lives is the one that you're feeding. Okay? So feed into things that help move the world forward and bring us away from misery, chaos, and suffering. Right? Compassion, empathy, unselfishness, right? Thinking about the future and what we need, children and women. You can't attack women and children and not think that you're not attacking the future, because you are. Without women or children, you don't have a future. There is no future without them. Okay? So pay attention to what people are doing, not what they're saying. Okay? Which includes yourself. So if you can do that and you can get through this can be a particularly powerful and profound time in your personal life, where you can make some literally set into motion things that will shower you with blessings and magic for years, decades, generations to come. We are literally at the end of the rope here. So we're about to finish out a major evolutionary karmic cycle. But you have to participate. You don't get to let other people do all the heavy work and expect to get any benefits from this. Okay? So that is March. I don't have a lot more for you, because honestly, I'm just fed up. I'm just fed up with everything. Everything. Because there are a lot of people who just aren't ready to hear these things, right? They don't want to hear the mention of a goddess because, oh my God, right? Oh, and by the way, do you know why people hate Taylor Swift? Like, I was looking at this. I'm like, why are these MAGA people have such a boner for Taylor Swift? What the hell did she ever do to them? And then I listened to a couple of interviews. She's really a very smart girl. She's really got it together. And she's very woman supportive. I have a lot of admiration for her. And that's before I saw the chart. And one of the reasons that they've all got this big, miserable, like the misery boner for Taylor Swift is because she's a feminist. And more important, she's not just a feminist. She is, by every account, she should be their poster child. She's thin, she's white, she's blonde, she's blue-eyed, she grew up in the South, and in the country, like Reading, Pennsylvania, and then Tennessee. Like, she should be their poster child as far as they're concerned. And yet, she literally speaks on the very things that they're terrified of. And that's women having their own minds and making their own choices, and requiring men to have a higher emotional IQ than a brick, right? And letting the old world go and giving up the toxic patriarchy. She is not about that life. She's about bringing all of us, all women, forward and upward, right? And having an equal seat at the table because we are co-creators, not footstools to heaven for some monkey. Right? We're not here to serve and service, a Neanderthal because he's physically stronger than us and that's all he's got on us. We take on the life-threatening task of bringing children into this world, right? We are absolutely co-creators and we deserve a lot more respect than being treated like cattle, okay, or property. Listen, whatever your personal kink is with your beau at home, listen, you and your boo, you do you. But outside of your house, that weirdo stuff, that's your stuff and needs to be, like your genitals, kept tucked away in private in your home and only shared with people who ask. So that's the thing with Taylor Swift. And I thought it was interesting because so much of everything's been going on for the last 20 years and longer, has been the rise of the goddess and this absolute constant attack on women trying to drag us backwards in time, and they don't even know what they're fighting. They just know they're scared and something's wrong and they're about to lose everything. So a whole lot of hinky stuff going on out there by old men that refuse to give up power and know the change is coming. The change is coming. A reckoning is coming, and they don't like it. But can't avoid it. Well, unless you can get everybody into servitude and slavery, right? So that's it. I don't know. I'll see you guys in April. We'll see how things go. I'm sorry. I got breakthrough COVID. I'm on the tail end of it now, but I'm still not 100%. So I'm not at my best. So there's a lot of brain fog going on. And also too, all that Pisces is just like a tsunami wave opened up and landed in my bedroom, right? Because I carry a lot of Pisces Virgo planets as well. So I'm getting this month of March myself. All right, if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment box below. I will talk to you as soon as I can and remark and respond. I will try to do better. And again, we're going to do a live stream discussing Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's chart because they're cute. They're cute. And also, it's an interesting conversation. So we're going to talk about that and how to read a chart and compatibility. And, certainly you can bring up your own stuff. So if there's a better day and time for you to attend the live stream, put it in the comment box below so I can try and figure out the best time for everybody. And that's it. World's shortest video, my shortest month ahead horoscope. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And if you believe in magic, dark magic, white magic, whatever the magic is you believe in, right? Hoodoo, voodoo, like rooting, pick your thing. It's in full play. It is in full effect all month long. So if you feel like somebody just threw a psychic dagger in your back, it's probably not your imagination. That might actually be what you're feeling. But again, it's a giant echo chamber, so everything you're putting out there is not only amplified, but it's going to bounce around for a long time before it loses energy and finally goes away. So be careful what you're inviting into your existence. All right, talk to you guys later.